my biscuit. Okay, we're live.
We're live.
Hey there, friendlies. Welcome to the 5th of March episode of the Beer, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream. We're both representing tonight. You guys remember Sales, right?
That's right.
Sales, you remember the guys?
I'm not showing off my nipples. I'm just, I'm going to retract that.
Okay. Really? Already?
Oh, already.
Hey, Simon. Hey, Outdoor. Outdoor
Hey,
saying
guys.
hi to Serge. He says hi to Serge, but he doesn't say hi to me.
Of course not. You're just that much lower on the totem
pole. Yeah. We got a couple of beers. Who's got beer tonight? Hey, Tyler. How's it going? Oh, yeah. Outdoor. Come on. It's too early a night for that.
Nice. I like that.
Serge is keeping a track of the comments on the phone. Thanks, Outdoor. Hello, particularly Serge. Okay. All right. Is that how it's going to be?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
That's how it's going to be.
Just remember, these guys, they're like your kids, huh?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like mommy, daddy.
Buffering. All right, who's buffering? Is it just Outdoor or is everybody?
I seem to be buffering as well.
Buffering as well.
Let's try this again. Reload.
You reloading? Let's see how it works.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It looks like we're back.
Okay. Hey, LT. How's it going? LT, what are you drinking tonight? What you got? We're back.
Yeah,
we're back in business.
We're back. It's nice because by doing that, we'll know right away.
We'll know right away, yeah.
If I could speak properly.
LT got beer. We got beer.
Oh, yes, we do.
Is it too early to show it off yet? Yeah. Let's wait for
yeah, we're going to wait till it's 9:05.
Okay, at 9:05 we'll show our beer.
9:05.
Okay. Outdoor is still and Tyler's saying it. How do you exclusively? Okay, Tyler, is that how it's going to be? That's how it's going to be, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's fine. It's fine.
But you realize that makes me kind of like the mommy, right?
Fair point.
So that's not necessarily. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't judge.
I don't judge either.
I don't judge. So the theme for tonight is.
Oh, he's gonna send the pic.
Yeah. Again, where's the nutsack? Nobody knows where the nutsack is. That's the magic of a nutsack. I'm gonna see if he's.
Yes, you saw that.
I'm just gonna see if
LT
sent it yet. Not
something.
yet.
Not yet.
Tyler, you actually have a nutsack beer bag, don't you? That you bought. Guys, nutsack is also a bag company name.
Mm-hmm. Starting well tonight.
Ça commence bien.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I mean, the subject tonight has to do with children.
Yes,
so,
tonight.
The fact that everyone's acting like just child just makes sense.
Just makes it that much more legit. Yes. The theme for tonight is children and bushcraft, children and camping, children in the great outdoors.
Yeah.
We're waiting for. That's the LT's beer.
Finish your sentence. We're waiting for.
I think Anthony wanted to talk about it. No, or was it Austin?
I think it was Austin, but I'm not sure.
Too. I'm still waiting for LT's picture to show up. Man, I love how the camera totally blanks out whenever I put a screen in front of it.
Seriously.
LT, I'm just waiting for that photo to show up.
Yeah, I'm excellent at segues, by the way.
That was a terrible segue.
I know.
I'm good at awkward pauses. There's the beer. Sleeman's Steeped Copper Ale.
Hey, is that the one with I was about to say cocaine. No, with coffee in it. Is that the coffee one?
Or tea?
I didn't get a good look at it there.
This is terrible.
Maybe if we put like two of them.
Yeah. Yes, Steve. Oh, sorry. It says steeped coffee. I'm not steeped copper ale. Come on, Jess. Steeped coffee.
Yes,
yeah.
I've had that before. It's actually not that bad.
And that looks like one of those Osborne clones behind there. Crap. Come on, camera. Work with me, will you?
It's because it's too bright. Do you have like
Wait a minute. You know what I have?
a white cardboard? You have that in the back?
Just turn the damn brightness down.
That might work. We'll see. We'll do a little live testing.
A little bit of live testing.
Is that gonna work?
Oh yeah, so much.
So much better if it focuses.
Okay, marginally better. Whatevs.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, whatever. Yeah, it's like a 940 clone. Yeah.
And outdoor, of course, I have to keep him on track. He's always derailing, like, you know, the train and like megouts.
That you do not say in this house.
What's worse is I know people from there.
906.
906.
You know what we were supposed to do at 905?
Yeah.
So what Serge has.
Yeah. I'm gonna do. Is there a French or English side? Let's see here. Oh,
That's
whatever. There. Tonight it's a Farnham. I got the bitter British ale.
Yep.
Because I like me darker beer.
So,
I think this one's I think a little darker.
That's a 473 mil, and what is that? A 5%?
5%.
5%. Straight up standard Canadian beer. Crack that bitch open.
Yep.
And what I got is a McRockin Flower honey Scotch ale from Brasserie Loup Rouge. Man, nothing shows up.
No, I'm telling you, I need like a white cardboard or something to. Have
so 500 mil. Oh my land! It's a 10%.
Oh Jesus, are you serious?
It says right there, extra strong beer.
Wow. You choose the good ones, don't you? I'm gonna try to open my beer over here because it was a bumpy ride coming in. So you know.
Okay. There's a real danger with Quebec microbrew in that this province loves its like hyper strong beer, and I find that I used to really go for it. I used to drink a lot of Unibrew stuff. You know, it's all like 8%, 10%. There's one. They've got one that's 11. What is that?
Yeah, I think is it the Monzit?
Monzit. I think it's Monzit. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't.
It's Unibrew anyway.
But I don't really do the Unibrew thing very much anymore because I find that the alcohol content starts to overpower the taste.
Mm-hmm.
And like with something like a Scotch, that doesn't happen. But with something like a beer, it really, I don't know.
Well, I find almost as if it's like you're better off just getting something which is fortified instead, you know?
Well, like a Porto?
Yeah, you know? Because you
Sherry?
do because you do have some I've seen some beers too that are fortified.
Oh.
And yeah. But the thing is you still get more of a taste of the beer instead of it being like fermented so freaking high.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't like the flavor of really high octane beer, you know?
Why are we demonetized now? Is it because I said like
I don't know.
Crikey?
I don't know.
Christ.
Look at the color. That's a good Scotch ale. Oh, that's got a nice copper color too.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, LT. Then whoever else has it's got a honey sort of sweet taste going at the back of the tongue. A little sparkle at the tip. It's good. It's kind of high octane, but it doesn't quite. It's not like a Unibrew kind of punch in the face kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. What do we got? Okay. LT, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
It's true.
How many beers do you need when taking the kids into the outdoors?
Oh, none.
I don't know if how many of you guys saw the video I did last summer when Camille and I went camping, just father-daughter time, and I had that milk IPA. That was so terrible.
Yeah. Did you throw that one out?
No, I finished that one.
Yeah, I actually finished that
I
one.
finished it. I didn't like it, but I was like, I am like 50, 100 kilometers from the nearest beer store.
It was those stouts, right, that you threw out?
The two Polish. But you know what? The Sean and the, what was it, Salvador? No.
Mm-hmm. Was it? Jeez, I don't remember myself, so.
Whatever. The two Polish beers.
This will remind me.
Well, what I'm thinking is, oh, is it not good?
No, it's actually
okay.
Good.
Because what I'm now thinking is, I was talking about it with cousin-in-law, brother-in-law. You know, in Quebec, the families, everyone's an aunt or an uncle. So I don't know where anyways, whatever. So I was talking to another member of my wife's family, and he's very into beer. He knows a lot. And what we figured out is that beer had probably been sitting in that SAQ for long enough that it had just gone off. Because both of them had no head, like no bubbles.
Right.
They both tasted effing rancid, effing, not demonetized. Totally demonetized, though, so who cares? But yeah, I before those two, I don't remember the last time I tossed out a beer. You know?
Okay, here's Austin here. I have a question regarding the topic. How do you find a woodland activity a kid can make on their own and not just...
No, can make their own.
Oh, make their own? Yeah. I really should change my glasses.
Now,
and
okay, good, because now Austin's bringing us on to the topic of the night.
Yes, absolutely.
So, how do you come up with a woodland or an outdoors activity that a kid can make their own, so that they're essentially not just following along on your coattails? Is that what you're asking? Well, I think one thing that I like to do, and I'm not an expert at this. I don't have like an education degree or anything.
At least not in this.
Not in this. I should get one though. Bushcraft education degree. Boom, baby.
Does it exist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've decided it exists. Therefore,
You did. Oh, okay.
One thing I do is when Cody and I are in the woods, at least part of the time I let her lead what happens. I let her pick the trail, which has on occasion gotten us into not into trouble, but turned around a little bit. At the age that Cody is, she's 7, 5, 7, stuff like that. They're so open to whatever the hell is offered to them that if you just let them lead a little bit, they'll make it their own. I personally have a massive problem with bugs, but ever since Cody was a very small person, I've had to sort of really swallow that so that I don't pass that fear onto her. And so when she's leading the woodland explorations, I get way closer to way more bugs than I ever would have wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Or ever hope to again, but I know what's happening, So that's one thing that I would say. Hold on.
It makes me think of my mother. Oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay, that's one for me. Yeah. My mother-in-law actually bought my eldest a little like magnifying glass thing that she could like look at bugs in the woods and stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, she's gonna be looking at bugs, and she's not afraid of anything. Like she's out in the yard picking up ants and ladybugs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, oh, great. I got my own barcode.
You sure do.
Yeah.
Special ed. Hi, thanks.
Yeah. Actually, I was just looking for fun. And it looks like there's a,
master's degree in Bushcraft, Human Ecology, and, Jack Mountain.
Yeah, Jack Mountain Bushcraft School.
Yep, I listened to his podcast.
Maybe.
No, I do. I do listen.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Outdoor says Cole Cracker offers an outdoor education degree. Really? Special ed retracted a message. What? What? What's going on here? What's happening?
It had to be done.
Oh, Austin said it did. It kind of did. Austin says that his alma mater has an outdoor education degree. Okay. So, they're out there. And in fact, I was listening to, I think the Paul Kirtley podcast, and someone he was interviewing recently had a degree in like outdoors and bushcraft education. They're out there.
Yeah.
The schools are out there. What I like to bring this back, well, to really connect this to the topic is there are a lot of European schools that have like these outdoor kindergartens where they just
I've
take
seen
the
those.
class to the forest and let them. And I so wish that we'd had one of those around when I was placing Cody for for preschool and stuff, because she would have gone for that. Like she would have been as happy.
Even for myself, it's like I would have loved that as a kid.
Me too. Me too. Because at that age, around 5, if you can maintain an interest in them from up until the age of 5 and around maybe 7 or something, they're good to go. They're always going. They're not going to be afraid of the forest. This is information I have read. I have not brought up a kid all the way to like 18 or 20 yet, but our experience right now seems to be bearing that out.
And so far from what I've seen, she's generally seems to like it. So that's I'd call that a win. That's for sure. Meanwhile, there's like my kids, because I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. The 5-year-old, she's all into it. She likes to go out.
Isaac.
She's the one that we started the karate with. She loves that. She's kind of tomboyish. The other one, on the other hand, you can tell. Well, it's not that she doesn't give a crap. It's just we try to go outside. Do you want to go outside? And she's like, no. So it's like, what do I do with that? And meanwhile, the other one wants to
throw her
go
out the door and you lock it.
I know for sure.
Huh?
But at the same time, what happens is I throw them both out. Julia, the older one, she's gonna play around, do stuff. The 3-year-old, actually, she's 4 now.
Dude, you're her dad.
Excuse me. Yes. And bravo.
It's okay.
So yeah. Anyway, the younger one, Amanda. She's gonna go out for like 5-10 minutes, and then she's gonna come in the door. I want to come in. It's like, no, stay out.
Yeah. I just want to get back to Zach. What are you drinking tonight? Austin lives in a rural area. Yeah, many of the schools have fairly regular snowshoe etiquette for younger students. Wood Pigeon's here. Hey, man.
Thanks, outdoor.
One of her former employers, Simone, one of his former employers, has an eco-education degree or a program. That's good too. How is outdoor going to keep up the count tonight? Sales is at 1-0. 1-0. That's a sports thing, right?
Now I'm at 2 because I had a little. Oh, you are definitely the master, though.
Excuse me.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Oh, Wood Pigeon, you ready for the yurt trip? Nice. Wood Pigeon and his wife Jill are going to. How long are you going to the yurt for? And where is it again? I don't need the exact coordinates or anything. I'm not going to call it an airstrike. But in what part of the province are you going to go to?
Wait, you have that kind of power?
No. No. But in fact, I didn't even know I was going to say that, to be honest with you. I just went blah, and I was like, well, I can't get that back. Let's hope nobody noticed. But here you are, Seb.
Yes.
And it's a children-oriented, Simone. Nice.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, Scott. Oh, Wood Pigeon, Jacques Cartier Park. Okay. Airstrike. Gotta make that the next t-shirt, eh? 3 days and 2 nights. Nice. Founder's Breakfast Stout. Here's what we're having. I'm having a McCrocken Flour Honey Scotch Ale, which is not showing up because the damn label is white. It's 500 ml, and unfortunately for me, it's 10%.
So it's gonna be kind of.
So like by halfway through tonight, I'm gonna be like, whatever, man.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I got a Farnham bitter British ale.
And I like bitters.
Like, let me get on the
English side.
English side.
The other official language.
Yeah, aren't all francophones.
You know what I'm gonna get?
What?
I'm gonna bring over the bell so that I'm not looking for it at 2 minutes to 11.
That's a good idea.
Keep talking to them.
Yeah, I'm still here. We still have one person on camera. I just hit the table, so everybody's like shaking like crazy.
Don't hit the table.
Well, actually, because it's spring break right now for at least here in Quebec for, I'm guessing, at least primary. And that's it. We got a few plans for the week. For this week and the weekend. And tomorrow we're actually going up to Mont Saint Bruno, which is it's a national park, provincial park, which isn't too far away. And we're gonna go do some snowshoeing. We bought some, I wouldn't say cheap, but inexpensive little snowshoes for kids. They got like nice little minion heads on them, so the kids are gonna like that. Luckily, I could remove them, because and they actually make them quite heavy because of that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we're gonna do that for the first time. So I'm hoping that the kids are gonna like it, especially Amanda. I'm sure Julia she's gonna freak out. She's gonna go crazy over it. But
the first time Camille, God, it was a few years ago that we got Camille her first snowshoes. They were GV. We're a GV family.
Oh, okay.
All of our snowshoes are GV.
Excuse me.
Native owned. Well, now owned by us, but I mean the company is native.
Right.
And man, it was weird. Like the first day she had them on, after about 10 minutes, she was running in them. And man, I'll tell you what, it took a little longer than that for me to learn how to snowshoe. Mm-hmm. Granted, I learned as an adult.
Right.
But I mean, there are all kinds of things. Hold on, wait. I just want Tyler. So as a kid, my interests were piqued by being told I had to go out, but allowed to build forts or explore while we were out camping. We often just played our favorite characters like Robin Hood. Outdoor is a jerk because he just retracted a message right in front of my eyes.
I saw that too.
Yes, actually, Tyler, that's a great idea. Going back again to the question. I'm just going to go back to make sure I didn't miss too much. Going back to the question that Austin asked, like about letting kids make it their own. Because I agree, by the way, Austin, that's key. The kids have to, in my opinion, feel some sort of ownership of what they're doing. Or at least that's been my experience with Camille. If she wants to climb up a rock face, and there's a danger of her falling and bruising a knee, but not falling and breaking her head, I let her go. And when she falls, I make her stand up, and then I give her a great big hug, and I hold her until it's okay. But I think that she has to feel empowered to give herself that bump or that bruise, because at the end of the day, it's worth it to her, because when she's telling my mom about the trip later, she may mention the bruise or the bump, but she'll, Mom, I climbed it. Well, she'll say it in French, but I climbed all the way to the top of a small cliff. Her mom will be, oh, great, Jesse. But I mean, but the thing is, her mom grew up really rural as well. So she does understand. She tries to be all, but she totally gets that,
It makes me think yesterday when we went sliding, the whole family, we went sliding on these little toboggans we got, and Julia wanted to go on her own.
Yep.
So, okay, go on your own. And obviously she doesn't want to go on the small one. She wants to go on the big one. And my God, she was going left and right. And it's like, my wife was like, oh my God. And here I am next to her, like laughing. It's like, she's like going like this on the hill. It's like, well, I find that funny too. But, well, the problem is that she has one of these neck guard things. I don't know how to call them. It's like, it looks like a turtleneck, but it's just like
it's
like that.
Called a mock turtleneck.
Well, she has it like on the outside of her jacket. She doesn't want it on the inside. So what happened is it went up like this, so she couldn't see anything.
Nice.
So that's why I was laughing.
Let me just see. Wood Pigeon says you just found a Condor made an Etsy knife. Wow, that I'd be interested to see.
Oh, right.
I would like to put together an Etsy bushcraft kit. Like, just follow what he had to the T, Austin, Wood Pigeon, how much is that Condor? Austin, the primary reason I asked it for the topic was for this topic, so it was you that asked for this topic, okay? Was to find some ways to connect with my girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter. She seems to enjoy being outdoors sometimes. Oh, and obliged other times. Yeah. Try to figure out what parts of being outdoors she really likes and what parts she doesn't. Like, next time you guys are doing stuff, see when she's bored versus when she's really interested, and just concentrate on what she's interested in. You know, I tell this story about when I was like, whatever, 15 or 16, right at the really irritating teenage years, you know. And my dad and my sister and I were camping in, I think it was Golden Ears. No, it was Manning Park in British Columbia. And my dad had signed us up for like a nature walk with one of the park wardens who was also a botanist, and like 24 and hot. Okay, I don't remember what she looked like, but I still remember her voice. And I'm just scuffing along in a self-important bored haze, you know. And it was just, I don't know. I looked down into the valley below, and everything just went click, you know. My hands are too dry to snap tonight.
Do it again. Do it again.
Okay. But like, you know, there were certain aspects of camping that I really liked, and certain aspects of it that really bored the crap out of me, even at that self-important, you know, time of my life. And I think that finding out what the difference is for her might help. Again, even like for a 14-year-old, like for a kid who's 7 years younger, see if she wants to lead one of the activities at some point, you know.
Yeah, especially teenagers. But I think it kind of goes back because it's a little bit out of our range at the moment because we don't have teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think going back to saying, try to make it your own. You know,
this is really good, by the way.
Yeah, is it?
Keep going.
No, just that there. Try to find something for her to make it her own. You know. Yeah.
And for me, wait, I just want to make sure we're not missing.
Yeah.
Simone, as a teenager, he was jumping on freight trains to go camping. Well, that's adventurous.
For sure.
Austin, as they grow through the years, you know, the thing is, when they hit, I know that my daughter is going to hit 13 and decide she hates me for like 5 years. I know it because that's just what happens when they hit their teenage years. What I hope is that by that point, she will be old enough to go outdoors on her own, that she won't need me anymore. Because if she can maintain that love of the outdoors, then we can reconnect later on something visceral, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also because for me, outdoors is therapy. And if she can find that same peace, even when she's not talking to me, then I think it's good for her, you know?
Well, it makes me think of my own experience into camping in the woods and everything like that.
Kids climbing on cliffs earning RDB Dad of the Year.
Nice. Yeah, so anyway, like, I think I may have mentioned before, my father was really not, you know, yeah, he had some camping stuff, but he never took us camping. He never, you know, it wasn't really his thing. So, you know, I don't dislike my father because of it.
You just like it for all kinds of other reasons.
That's right. No, my dad was actually pretty good. It's just he had a hard time showing.
He's not around anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. It's,
now I feel like
it's all good.
Asshole.
No, don't feel like a message retracted. But anyway, just to say that my brother and I, we decided we wanted to go camping, and we went with we were how many? We're 5, and I was I think like 12, 13. I think my brother was like 15. We had another 15-year-old, another like 12, 13, and a 10-year-old. That was the group. And we went off like, I think it was out in the woods in the middle of, well, not in the middle of nowhere. We actually got off an exit. Yeah, one of my parents' friends, just to say how crazy it was. One of our parents' friends actually just drove us off on the side of an exit ramp of a highway. And we just went into the bush and set up camp there. And we're like, you know.
How the hell did you know? How did they know when to come and get you, though?
Oh, we said, well, come back here in like 3 days at this time.
Okay.
So that was pretty crazy. When I think back about it, like our parents allowed this, you know? Yeah. And that's where it started with us. And geez, the stories we have from that camping trip was absolutely insane.
You're still telling those stories now, which is that they were absolutely worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Wood pigeon, you can find them for 45 to 120. I'll look them up later. Austin can answer your question already. She loves cooking over the fire. Hell, that's good. That's great, especially if you don't like cooking over the fire. But I also like cooking over the fire. Camille likes it too, but she's not that great at it yet, so she gets a little frustrated. But this is going to be her year. This is going to be her year.
Yeah, going back to the snowshoeing, what age was
I just want to say hi to Casually Extreme Outdoors. Hi, welcome to the...
Hello, hello.
What age was she? Like 5? 5, I think.
5?
I think it was like a couple of years ago.
Okay. It's about the age of Julia there, so that's good.
Yeah, and it was weird, man. She put on these snowshoes, and she was like looking around and step, 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 and then like, not even 10 minutes later, I'm like, "Hey, come back," you know?
Yeah, Simone, that except in your case, it's a little bit more wild with the freight trains there.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have tried that at 12, 13.
Yeah.
It's
Is my Hit the Bush tee artwork original? Yes, I did that specifically for the T-shirt. Yeah.
this one or this one?
No, my Hit the Bush one. Hold on.
Oh, okay, yeah, the other one.
The one with
yes.
Yeah, and I did that just for the T-shirt.
Yeah, and there's a second meaning behind that. Hit the bush.
It's a family show. Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know, man. That's the first thing I thought of, but maybe it's because I have a nasty, dirty mind,
How's Cody doing with her flint and steel? Flint and steel, she's having a hard time with. Well, we've for the winter we've sort of given it a break.
Yeah.
She's getting better at the ferro rod though. She's much better at the ferro rod. Again, what I'm thinking is this summer we're gonna get her to master that ferro rod, and then we'll take up the flint and steel. The thing is here and Austin, this might be related to what we're talking about as well. I don't want at any point right now for the teaching to become non-fun. The instant she starts getting bored with something, we're on to do something else. I don't want it ever to become like work right now.
I'm taking notes.
Take these notes because I've learned a couple of these things the hard way. As soon as she starts to get bored, I'm lucky in that my daughter's very vocal. When she's like, I'm a little bored now. Okay, good, fine. We'll do something else. What would you like to do, honey? Where the hell's my? Yeah. So this summer, I think we're gonna really master that flint and the ferro rod and start on the flint and steel in a more meaningful way. Because we just did a couple of little sessions with the flint and steel, but she got frustrated really fast. So I'm giving it a break.
No, I get that too sometimes a little bit with Julia. So
wood pigeon, as far as I know, pocket knives are not illegal. It's just that the border services or whatever the agency's called won't let anything that LT knows exactly what they won't let across the border. But it's not that it's illegal to own them. It's that importing them has suddenly become impossible.
Yeah.
And that's
all anal.
And that's frustrating because these are not illegal. So
No.
where do they get off not letting them in the country?
Well, I find ever since 9/11, it's just been like, let's ban this, let's ban that. It's a continuation of, all that crap.
But I don't know. Anyway, so as far as I don't. Yes, there have been rule changes. It's not on the level of law, though. It's on the level of bureaucracy. And I have a problem with it because letting stuff in the country...
Which is legal.
That's the thing. Not letting something legal in the country is where I have the problem. If they passed a law making pocket knives illegal, that would be... Or it's a specific kind of folder. Like it's something that can be opened with gravity, I think, if I remember correctly.
Like a switchblade.
No, switchblades are already straight up illegal. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about it because, there's nothing else to say.
No, well, and there's nothing you could really do about it either.
Yeah.
Unless you complain to your what is it? Your MP.
Yeah. I'm not even bothering to complain to my MP anymore. He's already heard from me enough. Your teen is a major homebody, so some days she's stoked to go on a hike, and others she's happy to spend a sunny day watching Netflix. Yeah, but you know what? Cody's like that too. Sometimes she just doesn't want to go out. You know, she leads a very active lifestyle. You know, she's got karate 2 nights a week. She's got ballet on Saturdays. She's got hiking whenever the hell her daddy calls her and says, "Hey," and calls her like, you know, Camille, let's go for a hike. You know,
No, hey,
no, you know.
She's got her own cell phone.
Last weekend, she spent the whole weekend lakefront at her grandmother's place, snowshoeing and playing in the snow. And the snow up there is like on a kid that tall, right? Because when I was going through it, I was going down up to my knees, right up to where I shot that video. Like it was pretty hard packed. It's very windy there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But further back, you know, you're like tuk 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 tuk. Piss.
Well, you just go off the trail and all of a sudden, whoa! Yeah. Oh, excuse me. That's 4. Outdoor dauber. MP stands for a member of Parliament here in Canada.
Oh, did he ask?
It's right there. I thought it was military police. No, not at all.
MP, member of Parliament. It's what the Australians would call their representative.
Yeah,
I think you guys might call them representatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Your farmer can't. Yeah, outdoor that farmer would have no problem getting across.
Yeah,
the border.
Wood Pigeon got it right there. Member of Parliament. That's the people we vote in.
Yeah, the ones who are supposed to work for us. God damn it.
Supposed to.
Check out Kevin Cleary's video on importing knives to Canada. Good to know. Random thought: the farmer model would be a good Nesmith trio piece. I'm just trying to imagine it. Yeah, I think you're right. It's also a really nice looking knife. It's the Alox, right? You know, for a 10% beer, that's pretty good. Like, and the alcohol hasn't subsumed the actual flavor in any way.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a little wacky.
I may get a little wacky after 500 mils of 10%. That's why I'm drinking it slowly. You know, so that I'm not like, you handle it, Sass. I can't. I just don't. I can't. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that would take like what 3 or 4 before you start doing that.
Yeah.
Unless you.
Our representatives are supposed to work for us too. Let's not go there. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Outdoor. Let's not go there.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
I try very hard not to get political.
Otherwise, you know, like Bernie Sanders said, "Don't get me started."
So any tips for future steps for at knife making? Well, I'll tell you what not to do.
No, I can't wait to see this.
This has been sitting here for 4 years.
Oh, I got it. Okay, I got to see it this firsthand now.
It's just
it's a file.
It's a file knife.
Nice.
That I cut out.
Nice.
And then just, you know,
don't do anything with it.
And then I just let it sit there. It's because, you know, I was like, oh, okay, now I got to make a jig to make this candy grind. Oh, I'm, you know, I'm not brave enough to make a jig or some damn thing. And so it's just sat there.
Well, you could always try to do it the, what is it? You just, well, I guess it'd be a little
like just use a file?
Yeah, just use
because I've annealed it.
But I have a question for you.
Okay.
Once you actually have the shape that you want, how are you gonna
heat treat it?
Yeah.
Fuck if I know. Demonetized.
Demonetized.
Great. What I meant was funked if I know. You know, little bass, little drums.
Actually, guitar, I believe you just said you're actually speaking French there, technically.
Yes.
Because you want to say, like, you know,
a seal.
A seal.
Seal if I know. Because Camille
remonetized. No.
Because Camille went to an English language daycare in our house for that first couple of years, a seal in French was un seal. Anyways, so one thing I just wanted to say, Wood Pigeon, is if you're gonna do it, do yourself a favor and just do it. Because this just sitting here, I look at it, I just think, man, I suck, you know? Because I want to get it done. I was excited about trying to make like a file knife as a good beginner project. It's just sitting there.
Well, it makes me think of the axe head I'm modding. I mean, I have to do a lot of like I'm cutting away chunks of the axe, right? Of the head. You're not going to do that in 2 minutes.
No.
You know?
No. Hold on. I just want to pop open this Kevin Cleary link,
no
just in a new tab, just for later on. I'll watch it.
But yeah, it's like my issue is that I can't really work on this indoors because excuse me, Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't work on it indoors because I don't have a space inside which I could, cut metal and not worry about having metal shards going all over the place because my kids go everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I do it outside. But this winter, it's been like freaking minus 20 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but it's probably around 0 or -3 or something like that Fahrenheit.
Well,
so I didn't work outside.
Wait, what's the time? Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. The advantage of working outside, though, at those temperatures, the head doesn't really heat up as much as it would normally.
Yeah.
But, God.
Zach, no, but we definitely have to. We have to work on an art piece for Hamza. Now that you're here and you were going to paint it, we just have to find something. Simo and I'll find something.
Yeah, something to send him,
and then I'll send it. It's going to be, by the way, it's going to be expensive to send.
Just because of the weight?
That spoon that I sent him was $55 with no signature, or $83 with a signature. Spoon. Hand me one of those spoons. No, never mind. I'll just reach. This. Like what? 20-gram spoon?
Yeah.
If even.
For you Americans, like what? 2 ounces? It's nice.
Does my head in. That's what's not finished yet.
Yeah. Well, I could tell that it's a little rougher than.
Yeah.
But,
so anyway. But one thing I wanted to bring up was in prep for tonight's live stream, I reread an article that I had posted on my Facebook, on my Rain Dance Facebook, of a blog post on the Paul Kirtley blog.
Did I miss that?
You probably did.
I think I did.
When did I post it?
I'm horrible. I'm a horrible person.
You're just a horrible person. You're just horrible.
Horrible.
Sound like my grandma. You're just horrible. The Book of Faces. I'm just trying to scroll.
That was a silent one there.
That was nicely done.
Yes. I don't know if Dauber heard that. I'm at 5, so I don't know if I'm going to be at 6 now. Well, now I said it,
okay.
So
February 21st. Can you post? No, you can't.
No, I can't. I don't have I don't have those powers.
Okay, but I do.
You go. I can't do that then.
There we go. Okay. That link that I just
thank you, Dauber,
posted. Huh? Horrible person. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Book of Feces. Stop it. So this link that I just posted to the Paul Kirtley .co.uk. What really? UK.
Co.ca.
Co.uk.
Co. What?
That's a blog post on children and bushcraft skills, because that's another aspect that I'm living, right? I'm trying to teach Camille the skills. When she watched the video I put up on Sunday, she was like, "Daddy, I want those things too." So now I have to reorder the pocket bellows and the
nice.
What was the other thing I bought? The
I'm drawing a blank. I just see you with the. It looks like you know what?
The fish spreader. The fishmonger spreader.
Fish, yes. But the pocket bell, it makes me think of either one of those pointers or
like a back scratcher or something. Or you know that magnet that you use for nails?
yeah, that. Or it also made me think of an old antenna from a radio.
Or or TV, like the rabbit ears.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've looked into it, and definitely, as a couple of people have commented, the way to use it is you blow in the big end, and because it creates a stronger flow out. Yeah, funnel effect. I can't wait to make a fire. To be honest with you,
Seriously.
And see greenery. I just for greenery.
Jeez, you have no idea.
Oh,
this winter has been so harsh and like it seems like it's gonna last forever. Apparently, it's supposed to end abruptly. Thank goodness for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't happened yet.
So. No,
Actually, my brother, because I don't have that much stuff for my bushcraft stuff, and he got himself some ferro rods, and he gave me one. So I'm like, all right, now I have one.
Nice.
It's like, it's about frickin' time.
Wood pigeon, yes, you're right. You can use the pocket bells for a soup can forge. Yep. Anything where you need to blow into.
Yeah,
like, how many of you guys do this? Because that, like, you can direct your wind, your breath, not your wind. Your wind is something else if you're British. You can direct your wind, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. That might give you an extra methane boost.
Light a match under your arse. Okay, we got to stop this. We got to stop.
I've never done that though.
I think I learned that from.
You know, it's weird because I've never done that. I just did that for the first time, and I kind of
spat all over my work.
Well, no, I didn't. But I could almost feel that it's blowing out directionally. Interesting.
Yeah. Wondering what I saw a scrambled dough do it in a video once, but that's not the first time I'd seen that. Anyway,
moving on.
Pound of battery. Yeah. No. Tap, tap, tap. Boom. No.
I'm not on the worst side there.
Yeah.
He's like pointing. Like. Anyway,
I'm gonna spend the rest of this live stream like this.
Get away!
It's not funny.
Thanks, special ed.
Wood pigeon. It's a family show. Yes, you're right. Outdoor. We should move on to something else. Oh, like beer.
Yeah, I'll only blow if you ask to.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I definitely suggest read that blog post I linked to there, because you're gonna find something useful. First down of the night.
I think so.
I think so too.
Not bad. It's okay. So it's not.
It's only 9:48. It's too early for the on.
It's the beer. Let's blame it on the beer.
It's the 10% alcohol.
But you know, it just makes me think. Because like I mentioned before, my youngest, she doesn't like to go outside and stuff. But this weekend, because obviously, if she doesn't like to go out, I don't want to bring her camping. You know, if she's gonna be outside, oh yeah, she's just gonna be murder for the rest of us. Yeah.
But is she a Franco?
Yeah. She speaks French there, so it's you go home. I want to go home. It's like no, we're not. So what we're doing this weekend with some friends and stuff, we're going up to a chalet. So like that, we could go out for 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. And if she's fed up, we could just go back inside, So by easing her in, I think it might be a little easier to do stuff. And, despite the fact that there's huge minion faces on those snowshoes, we're going to bring those up to the chalet as well. So, and also what might kind of help her too is the fact that there's going to be other kids there.
Yeah.
And the
Other
other
kids
kids
makes a big difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, and they're all older too, so they're going to be into it. Well, no, there's one that's actually he's like 2 now, but a 2-year-old, you're just going to drag him wherever the hell you go because he's 2. But yeah, all that to say is that I'm hoping that she's gonna get a lot more into it because the other kids will hopefully be into it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm crossing my fingers it's not gonna be overcast and
Right.
we'll go out at night because you're like me got sick, right?
Yeah.
There's like no cities in the area. So you go outside there and on a clear night, you're gonna see
gorgeous.
all the stars.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's not as nice as the summer sky, but it's still better than near the city.
I like the winter sky. I like all my favorite constellations in the winter.
Yeah, but as a kid, you don't see really as much the Milky Way as you would during the summer, right?
Okay.
So that's impressive just on
right.
its own, So because they don't know the constellation, they're gonna
Yeah.
oh, there's Orion's belt, and they're like, huh?
Yeah. Hold on. Wood pigeon, what do you think about filing stainless steel for knife making? First off, I take it you're not going to be annealing the steel before you do it, because if you do, you're going to have to pop all the handles off and stuff.
Yeah.
Which means that you're, excuse me, filing. Thank you, sir. Which means you're filing hardened steel. The biggest thing you have to worry about, aside from giving up out of pure frustration, is short passes with your saw. Like if you're jigsawing it, not jigsaw. See the hacksawing it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, with a handheld hacksaw, probably not a problem. But with like a bandsaw or something, you don't want the metal to heat up too much. You got a lot of ways to go before it does. But especially if you're using like a belt sander or something, you can heat it up and ruin the temper. So,
or worse, it gets hot enough that it snaps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they weld it, right?
Yeah.
So it's technically a weak point, and if it gets too much heat, it could snap off.
Well, okay, because you and your brother have done a couple of knives. I've only done I've only rehandled.
Alain has really done knives. I've never really.
Hey, he's not watching tonight.
No, huh?
You call his ass and say, "What the hell, man? We're here doing good work."
Yeah. I'll be like,
get on the live stream. Yeah, so wood pigeon, it's just because working with hardened metal, I find takes a long time, and it can be frustrating if you're not
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't love stainless, to be honest with you, for working with. I'm all about the carbon steel. I'm all about 01. It's not a super steel. I know that. But I do love me some 01. That's my comfort zone.
Well, if you like it, that's what's important.
Yeah. Easy as hell to get an edge on. Keeps an edge for a good long time. Not like, oh my gosh, not like a super long time.
Meanwhile, I can't spell.
Alain. A-L-A-I-N.
It's not Alan, it's Alain.
A-I-N.
Because we French.
Because we French.
We French. Let
me just see.
There you go.
Filing stainless steel is awful. Yeah, getting a water stone or a belt sander to grind it and stick. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, grinding is better. But as I said, with filing, you're not going to overheat it. With a belt sander or something, you may.
Did I send you a picture of the kitchen knife I did with the walnut?
No.
I'm sure I sent you that. Basically, I made a kitchen knife. Well, the scales off the kitchen knife, well, they're made of plastic. They crumble apart. They're crap. So naturally, so I decided to put on some new scales. Now the thing is that the pins, they're fake pins.
Okay.
They're just little covers that you pop off, and underneath there's like screws. So I didn't have anything to really make. Was it? Oh, that's right. Outdoor has that pic. I sent it to Outdoor.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't have any brass rods or anything like that. So what I ended up doing is using bamboo, and I made pins out of bamboo. And
Like
it's
bamboo straws or like bamboo?
like bamboo, like actual it's just I think they were either shish kebab sticks or
Yeah,
something
yeah, I
like
meant
that.
sticks. I didn't mean straws.
Yeah.
But I've been drinking a 10% beer.
Yeah. No, oh, real. I know. Well, I'm almost done here, so
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Dauber. I knew I felt that coming. Oh my. So anyway, yeah, number it up. So yeah. Anyway, all that to say is that
At least you got an LOL.
yes, thank you.
All that to say that.
Yeah, all that to say is that I use that and it seems to be holding on pretty well. So I'm like, and I made sure that the bamboo is like it was hard to put it in. Like that's nice and tight.
Yeah.
Tight,
nice and tight. You know
very
what I'm saying?
tight. So yeah,
She said
it seems to work rather well, and it's very easy to sand the surface nice and clean too. So yeah, burpee duo.
Wood Pigeon says, "Well, considering I never made knives, it's just something I want to try." Yeah, I would. You know, I would say try it. Okay, guys. For those of you, start again.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Wood Pigeon picked up like a trio of like 2 cheese knives and a like an old hickory or something for $2 at Goodwill. So the way I see it, the way I see it, you picked up a few knives at Goodwill. Do whatever the hell you want with them.
Yeah.
Use them to play around with and learn how metal works. Learn what you can and cannot do with them, because you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than trying to experiment with a bar of a one tool steel that costs you like $80.
No, for sure, and that's the thing. Like, also, if you screw it up, excuse me, worst comes to worst, modify it. You know, like, oh, geez, the tip's finished. Fine, make your knife shorter. You know, it makes me think of the scales. There you go.
What's the wood you use for that?
That's walnut. Yeah,
damn straight, that's walnut. That's nice
it's
work.
gorgeous. I'm really pleased with the finished look of it, but.
So is this going to show up? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it shows up. But this is the thing also. When I first started making these scales, the first scales I made out of oak. What a mistake that was.
For a kitchen knife, I wouldn't.
Yeah, because it's so porous that the water gets into it. Is awful. I'm like, and this is the thing. When I was making them, I'm like, geez, it seems very porous. This wood,
no.
you know,
oak, you have to stabilize.
Yeah,
you have to fill in all those pores.
Exactly, and I didn't do that, so lesson learned.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I used poplar, and it was okay, but it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't fantastic. Again,
why would you use poplar? It's not even pretty.
Because it's a wood that's relatively easy to work with.
Yes.
So,
good point.
So I mean,
hold on.
It's practice, right?
Let's see what people are saying. Zach says he despises that. Zach says he despises D2 steel. It's a witch to sharpen and was originally developed in WW2 as a cheap alternative to other better steels. Well, I didn't know that about D2. I don't have anything in D2. I'm very selective about my steels. With steels, I'm with steels the way I'm about to say the F word. I'm the same with steel as I am with firearms.
Nice segue, by the way.
I like old rounds that have been around for a long time. I don't want any new magnums. I don't want anything uber modern. I don't do 5.56. Okay. I know that 308 is 7.62.
Don't look at me, man. I'm not a rifle guy.
Okay, I like old rounds that have been around forever. With steel, I like steel that's been around forever. I like my old one. I don't know. Am I even into Aus 8 really? I'm very, very basic. I'm not into super steels. I'm not into super, dragon breath rounds in terms of firearms. I'm not into anything really fancy and modern. I have a massive respect for time honored, even if fancy and modern does X 3% better. I don't care. I bet the comfort value is something that my grandpa could have used as a knife or fired as a rifle or whatever. Well, my grandpa fired .303 British. the way all of our grandfathers did. Well, all Canadian and British grandfathers did.
No.
You know. I also think, by the way, the 3-3 is my favorite round. But like, so to me, my knowledge about steels is not very wide.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot about certain very specific steels, and I'm okay with that. You know.
Well, I'm not as knowledgeable, so and I get what you're saying. Like, especially if I'm making a knife which is let's say not necessarily vintage, but which has a reminiscence of like an old design. You know,
I like old designs as well.
Yeah. If I'm gonna be making an old design kind of knife, you know, like I'm trying to think of. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, then I might be inclined to use materials which are of the period, you know.
Yeah.
However, if I want to make a knife, which is I'm like, okay, I want this to become my knife, you know, like this is my go-to knife, which could do anything. Well, then I might say, well, maybe I might get that super steel, which is like super solid, that keeps an edge, but is like stainless, which is very rare. My brother would know more about that. My brother, like, he's telling me about ATS 32, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But he knows that stuff like crazy well. I'm like, my God, you know. But yeah, all that to say is that it depends on what I want to use it for. However, if I want something that looks period,
you want to be a period.
I want it to be period. You know, like material wise.
Okay. Let's get back to sure. Austin says, on the other side of this coin, we are getting so far behind.
Yes.
This is probably going to be interesting. On the other side of this coin, what are the outdoor activities you'd prefer not to have your child along for?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I mean, because
I don't do like illegal drag races or anything like that.
Outdoor stuff I do not want my daughter along for. It's hard to say because, like, she's been there for, you know, I built a fence and she helped haul wheelbarrows of concrete around. She helped mix concrete, you know. So I was going to say, hey, I don't want her around if I'm chopping down a tree, but I mean, she's pretty level-headed, and if I say you stand over there, she stands over there. So I don't know what I wouldn't want her along for. You know what I don't want her along for? Anything where I'm learning something new and I don't know enough to maintain safety. That's what I don't want her along for. So if I was to finally buy an Alaskan chainsaw mill and have a log to turn into my own wood, sounds dreamy to me.
A little bit, but that's okay.
I don't want her there for the first time I'm using it. I don't want her to see the blood if I gouge myself. Like, a kid should never see something like that happen to a family member. Should never see something happen like that, you know? Just in terms of nightmares and blah, blah, blah. But for the most part...
What about your hand?
She's never seen any of that happen.
But if that would happen?
Yeah, that would be gross. And well, here's the thing. I've been around her when I've cut myself.
Okay.
And she's been like, Daddy, and she takes a Band-Aid and she cleans it, and I'm like, I can do this. I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Okay. But like anything where there's a safety issue going on, and I don't know it enough to maintain safety for her, like to know, like to just know, hey, it worked. That's what I don't want her along for. Yeah. If I'm learning to rock climb, I don't want her there the first time I'm rock climbing, kind of thing, you know? Gosh darn it.
Unless she's like, you know, well into her teens and you see that she's handling herself better than maybe you are. You know?
I think Austin is asking for before the kids themselves have that. Because, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
If she's teaching me to rock climb, that's a whole different story because I'm not responsible for her, you know, for her safety at that point, you know? Just bring up the level. We'll definitely those.
Yeah, it all depends.
Yeah. Okay, Austin. No, Austin does say For him, it would definitely be those therapy hikes and outings. Yeah, when I have to hit the woods for therapy, I need like an overnighter by myself, and this is something my family doesn't get. Okay, so I'm slowly going crazy. But if I need to be away, I want it to be alone.
Hmm.
It has to be alone. Um, so yeah, I'm right with you on that one, Austin. How do you stabilize oak? How do you stabilize? How do you stabilize oak? It's expensive because you need equipment. You need a tank,
Yeah.
like with an air pressure. Is it a pressure chamber or a negative pressure chamber? Because what you have to do is you fill it with resin, you drop your oak in, and
Well,
you draw out all the air. And so that what's happening is the air is coming out of the pores
mhm.
and being replaced by the resin.
Yeah. And I think I've actually seen some people use, those kitchen vacuum seal things there.
Yeah.
They've,
Really?
yeah, I've seen some people actually use, like, they put.
Is that what you use for that? I do not own a musket.
Is it lead in the soldering irons there? Is it still lead, or is it like
In soldering arrows?
yeah, like when you
Yeah,
you're
you mean
soldering?
the solder? I don't know if that's still lead or not. I hope not. Imagine
I
like
thought there was like another type of.
no.
I'm trying to remember what the hell it's called.
Outdoor says speaking
It's
of
the beer.
it's the beer.
It's the beer.
It's the beer. Speaking of firearms, I found 22 shells in my pack. I don't own anything that holds 24 or 22s. 24s, 2-4s, beer,
Mhm.
2-4. Hey,
That's your wavelength
And
at the
last time
moment.
you used that pack was on the Appalachian Trail over the summer. Really? That's weird. Zach is all about the 7.5 by 55 Swiss. It's another classic round, if I remember. Ah, there's a Jeff White Apprentice Nesmuk blank and a gifted forward thread. Wow. You see, the thing is, I've only recently started back onto BCUSA, and I haven't been hanging out and stuff enough to sort of feel okay about getting in on stuff like that yet. It would feel too opportunistic, but man, wish I'd known
Well,
about that.
it makes me think of the what is it, mass drop.
Mass drop, yeah.
I started that, and I'm like, now I'm just deleting the emails because I'm like, I can't look at it no more.
I know.
I have zero budget.
Yeah.
You know.
U.S. Army wants to get 6.8 millimeter for frontline troops. That's not going to happen. Not for years. Hold on. Zach Fudge, my dad has a 7.5 but hasn't fired it yet. I would love to know what the recoil is on that. Concrete, I thought you and I did it all. You and I did most of it. What the hell were Camille and I doing with the concrete? I don't remember. Hasn't Cody already been cliff climbing? Yes, she has. Cody also, by the way, helped me. Under the fence, there are these trenches that are about yay deep, and we filled them with gravel. And Cody helped me move a ton and a half of gravel in wheelbarrows. She's very strong, but not that strong. And at one point, it started going over, and she was going with it, and I just no, and I just caught it before they all went over. Buffering. Check on the phone.
Yeah,
please.
I already
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
We're okay.
We seem to be fine right now.
Cody, yes, Cody does cliff climbing. Zach, stay away from 7.5 Swiss revolver. I don't even know that.
And why would you want to stay away from it? Mind you, is that considered illegal here in Canada? Because it's a handgun?
No, they're restricted.
Restricted.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
But the round itself wouldn't be restricted. It's the firearm.
True.
You could use a jar, put a brake-like bleeder on it, and it would do the same. Yeah, probably. Foot pigeon. Probably. The key is getting the negative pressure high enough. Look, it's like what Serge said. Some people are just using that kitchen vacuum machine. Yeah. If you're buying a $500 custom knife by someone like Jack Lore, you want the industrial machine to have done the work.
Yeah.
If you're making your own knife, then anything you can do is going to be better than nothing. If you're using
Yeah.
oak, for instance, you want to do like at least that kitchen vacuum machine, because the thing with oak is it's very porous.
Which
It's
I learned the hard
really
way.
pretty though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It
but,
is really pretty, but it's really porous. You know. I never know what Simo's talking about with the rescues.
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah. So, but wood pigeon. Yeah. So what I was saying is like if you can get the negative pressure going and like nothing ruptures, then it's going to be better than nothing.
Unsubscribe. Why would I unsubscribe there, Simo? I think I missed something.
Very often you do.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not that bright. I have some good ideas, but you know.
You sure goddamn do. Oh, wood pigeon outdoors.
Sometimes a little slow.
Simone says the same thing. It needs to be able to withstand the negative pressures. Exactly. Yeah. LT is back. Remember the night Rain Dance broke YouTube? I break YouTube every time I'm on, Holmes. One of the late Beechwood stock. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about firearms. It's easy to get in the gifted forward. Maybe I'll take a look. Simo's unsubscribing. What? 7.5 by 55 Swiss recoil similar to 30-06. Okay.
Oh, I was on.
Anthony.
Sup, brother?
Who's on? Hey. Oh, you meant literally, brother.
Yeah, literally, brother.
Hey, you're working with oak now. By the way, Anthony, good eye. Good eye. I didn't even realize I put it there. This, to all you who might not know what this is Ballistol. You know what's funny about Ballistol? It's not available in Canada. I had to Amazon it, and it did come here from Germany, which is why the label is completely in German. It's Öl.
And what is that?
500 milliliter. It's oil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's oil. It's still sealed. I decided I wanted to go full on.
It's gonna smell, but you know.
Paul Sellers and get some Ballistol.
Oh, okay, yes. Now I understand why Simon says unsubscribe means from mass drop. Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah, I probably should too because I have almost spent $1 zillion.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because, excuse me, when I first signed up for mass drop like 2 weeks ago, there was a Felkneven F1 in the laminated GT10 GK. Oh, Jesus, wow, it's a 10% beer, eh? For $99 US. And so I was like, but wait. And I did the math. And it was still less than I could get it for brand new. But that's not working in. There's, getting it across the border. And what if the dollar drops and everything? But I still really wanted to buy that knife. Even though I've already got one. That's how much I like the Felkneven F1. You tried it, right?
Yeah.
I love that knife. It's stainless, which I don't like. I don't care. I love it. It's got a plastic sheath, which I don't like. But you know what? I don't care. I love it. Mm-hmm. It's got a plastic handle, which you know what? I don't like. But I don't give a damn. I love it. Oh, it's convex, which I don't like. But you know what? I love that knife. I love it. That's my cold weather knife. It's my rainy day knife.
Well, again, it's kind of what I was getting at back to before, like talking about like the different kinds of steels and stuff. Sometimes you want something which is more reminiscent of the past and like, being a little bit more nostalgic about it. But sometimes you just want a kick-ass knife, you know? So you're like, screw it. I want to get the best freaking steel I could get, Yeah.
And I like laminated knives. I love that knife. It's everything I don't like, but the thing is, it's not. Knives are like bass guitars. Axes are also like bass guitar. Everything's like a bass guitar when you're a bass player. And when you're a good bass player like I am, because I'm bass windy, dude. Nobody can touch me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to have to see your show eventually, man.
Yeah, especially because we even live in the same city, dude.
I know. It's like, it's always been like, okay, I'm coming. It's like something comes up. Oh, I can't.
I'm playing tomorrow night, by the way.
Tomorrow night?
Not with our usual fiddler, though. Anyways.
I don't know. Anyway, get back to it later.
Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes it's more than just the sum of its parts. Sometimes, like, the design and the parts, sometimes it just makes magic. And to me, the Felkneven F1 is that knife. It's, the Hella Tamagami I'm dying for, because it's everything I like. The carbon one, okay? Because it's everything I like in a knife. It's a fancy wood handle, and all that stuff. And so it's funny to be so into the Felkneven F1, but that knife is magical. Even in all the Felknevens, I've only played around with a couple of Felknevens, okay? But even among the Felknevens, the F1, man, it's the classic, right? It's the simple one. It's magical. That's the one I'm going to pass on to my daughter. With that and my Australian Woodlore clone. Whatever. I'm going to pass everything down to her. And if her sister likes that stuff, I'll just let them fight over everything. I'll be gone. Where am I?
What was I thinking?
Hold on,
I forgot what I wanted to say.
I'm just making sure. Yes, so yes, Anthony, that is a canniballist all in the background. Good eye. Simon's still on about the Ruskies. I sometimes gotta figure out what he's talking about. Anthony Henry, gun oil. Just like to tell you that you did a fireboard for work on Sunday night. Make sure you have the best insurance money can buy. It's worth it if you ever need it, God forbid. Okay, Anthony. Austin, yep, okay. Good to know. You're making a handle for Damascus Samurai short sword blade you bought online. You chose oak. Lots and lots of pores. Yeah, are you going to, guess for something like that, you don't really need to stabilize it. Like for a bush knife, I would say you got to stabilize it. For a kitchen knife, you got to stabilize it. But for something like that,
no, it's not. Like it shouldn't be a big deal because it's not like it's going to be soaking in the water or something.
Yeah.
But no,
unless it's going to be soaking in blood.
One thing I was going to show is.
Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. Don't say nothing. So this is another one of my brother's little projects.
Can I show this?
Oh, well, I would think so. Al, can I show? Can I show the knife that you made with the wrench? Yeah. I think we're just going to show it anyway.
Hold on. Hey, Craig's here. VG10. Yes, Zach, it's VG10.
Oh, nice. Craig.
Craig's here. Good to know Craig's here.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Now it's a party. I can show it?
Yeah, you can show the knife.
Come on, fool. Oh, it almost caught it. Almost.
Almost. You're shining the light on it. Actually, I should do the
same
trick.
Shine a little light on me.
Hold on.
Okay, you.
Hold on. I'll do what you did there. I'll just lower the.
The light on the screen.
Yeah. That's a little bit.
You think
dark?
you could have done it anymore? Actually, no. That works.
That's not bad.
Nice work, LA. I like it.
That's crazy. I'm like, that's awesome.
I will say that I do not like wrench knives, but this one's really nice. I like how good the job is on the knife part.
Well, I also like the fact that you put the little notch.
The choil?
Yeah. Is that what it's called? A choil?
Choil. Yep.
Yeah, right there.
It's like, or is it only a choil when it's on the blade? Alain will know.
I'm not sure.
Alain knows everything.
And it's almost one of them. What is it called?
Stuff.
The Dutch bushcraft guys there.
The Dutch bushcraft knife guys.
It's probably not as good as those guys, but sometimes he's gonna ramble off about some stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? But
let me see. Okay, so we said hi to Craig. Your brother wants a knife made of Elmax. So do I, and which is weird because I was just blithering on about how I don't, I'm all about the classic knives, about the classic knife steels, but Elmax, everything I see about Elmax makes it kind of exciting. Austin feels the same way with the F1 that many of us feel about our partners. Not perfect, but we love them. Wow. I feel about the F1 the way I feel about Mila Kunis. I want all of it all the time.
It's a good thing that your wife is not watching the live stream.
Celebrity crushes are okay.
Oh, they're okay.
Because they're absolutely impossible. Wow.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Back to what Outdoor Dauber just sent me. Get great big jerk. Look at that knife blank. That's a Nesmith. Piss. It's a Nesmith knife blank in 1095. Why do I even bother?
Wouldn't
Yeah, I
it be
like
nice? Wouldn't it be nice if like YouTube just had a function like they could just show an image, you know,
Yep.
temporarily? YouTube, if
YouTube,
you're listening,
they're not listening.
no, I know.
I have like under 3,000 subscribers.
I know,
Trust me,
I
YouTube
know.
doesn't care. My wife says this first night together was magical, but she says she was drinking as well.
Nice.
I don't know what's called. The thumb rest just feels nice. A thumb rest, like oh, does it have jimping or is it just a?
I think so. Yeah, I think he kind of like wait. Let me just
Jimping.
this up a little bit, just
A little bit, so we can actually see what's on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just turned it way too low.
Way too low.
Yeah, just on the top there, just a little bit, you know.
Yep.
Just so you could see.
Just
it
a little
again,
bit.
because that is pretty damn awesome. If it focuses, there you go.
Pretty damn awesome. Does anyone have their own version of a Nesmith Trio? Man, Craig, I'm planning to build one. I need a you know what? I could start an Nesmith Trio. So,
Almost.
piss! I can't get around because of all that stuff we have the mic on. Can you reach for the first handle there?
This one right here?
That one right there.
Oh yes, this little guy.
So this is what I could build my Nesmith Trio on. Tack. It's a little tight.
Out.
So this Norland is what I could build my Nesmith Trio on.
Remind everyone what the Nesmith Trio is again.
Nesmith Trio? Okay.
Like that.
Nesmith Trio.
The little knife.
It's a hatchet-sized double,
Mm-hmm.
like this Norland. Did I mention it's a Norland?
No, I don't think you did.
This
Mention
is
just one more time.
So it's one of these babies, and a belt knife, preferably a Nesmith belt knife, which I also have over there. See that? The one in the leather sheath.
Right
They're
there.
all in the small one.
Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. I remember this one.
Now this Norland is this Nesmith. Can I mention this is a Norland? This Nesmith is too small for a Nesmith Trio. Okay, one of these but full size. I'm dying for. So that's two things. And now the third part of the Nesmith Trio.
You could cheat it though.
Really? Come on, what? Yes. Come on. The third part of the Nesmith Trio is like a grandpa style pocket knife, you know, that with a blade that comes out here and another one that comes out that way. Just a small little pocket knife. Now the thing about the Nesmith Trio is that I want to build a Nesmith Trio, like a rain dance trio. Because the thing about the Nesmith Trio is that the big belt knife that Nesmith had, he didn't plan for bushcraft. Well, they didn't use the term, but like not for, you know, the woods parts. Okay, whittling and stuff was the pocket knife. The big knife was his food prep knife.
There you go. That's what I said. You could cheat a little bit. This will do the job.
Because this
will become the rain dance trio. With this
mini Nesmith.
Yeah, mini Nesmith. And I'm trying to remember what the damn name of the little knives that you're talking about there. It's the one with the metal on either side and the wood in the middle.
Yeah, like an old timer style pocket knife, a pen knife. Yeah.
No, it's not called a pen knife.
Well, my grandpa always called it a pen knife. What you talking about, Holmes? Why you gotta be hating, man? Throw that back in the box.
Okay.
We're a couple of classy dudes.
Let me just take this away from you.
All right, see you later, Wood Pigeon. So yeah, Craig, I'm on my way to having a Nesmith Trio. I think a lot about it. What I would like to do, because everything I think about these days is there a video that I can make of it? And what I'd like to do is this one, two, or a short series of videos on the Nesmik trio. Start with a real traditional one. Big Nesmik, little penknife, double bit hatchet. Mess around with it. Reread Nesmik, just to sort of get steeped in in the magic. Come on. And then see what I would change, and then change that, and then do an episode on the Rain Dance trio, and then put out a book and have everyone want a Rain Dance trio.
Well, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think the fact that you're using that knife already as your prep knife,
yeah,
and you have the Norland.
I have a Norland.
All you're missing is that little foldable grandpa style knife that you're talking about.
But like, would the Rain Dance trio end up with a folding knife, or would it be two belt knives essentially, or like a belt knife and a food prep knife, both of which are fixed blades? Would I even keep a double bit axe?
Then you almost already have your trio.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Maybe you have any and you don't even realize it. What do you normally take out in your bush? You normally have that guy there.
That one over there. Sometimes this guy here has a backup axe.
Yeah, but forget the backup.
Okay, forget the backup.
Yeah.
So that's my axe. Is it even on camera? Well, I mean, you guys have seen my small forest axe, right?
Yeah.
It's like that guy right there. That's just on the. Wow, this is hard to do when you're looking away. But that guy right there.
This one.
I bring either my Australian woodlore clone, or because it's the cold part of the year, my Felkneven F1. Did I mention that? So there's a belt knife. I have a backup knife that's always a Mora, just because they're cheap and I throw it in my bag, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have lost some gear in the woods.
But basically, you need 3 items, right? You have your axe. I would assume you'd have that as your.
That's my primary knife.
Food prep that you have. So you have that knife and your primary bushcraft knife. Would that be the F1?
Right now, in February or March, yes. In May, it might be the woodlore, but it might still be the F1. June or July, if I'm not like oceanfront, it'll be the woodlore. But there's a belt knife.
So you'll have your rain dance tree.
That might be it. That might be it.
For now, anyway.
What I want to do is spend at least one weekend with the traditional Nesmik trio, using it the way he designed it.
Right.
Because of the simple fact that I've never done that. And I feel that that's an excellent way to jolt the headspace a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Just to see, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe I should swap this knife for this knife, for example. Yeah. I get what you're saying now.
Hold on. Let me just see where everyone's. Okay, so Wood Pigeon's gone to bed. Outdoor Dauber has totally
has he
barcoded us. Okay, and he says vintage plum double bit cruiser, which I would love to have. Condor Nesmik and a buck canoe knife. Okay, that is straight up Nesmik. That's like as close to classic as you can come. You can, by the way, send me that vintage plum double if you want. I could take care of it for you. Extended loan. Zach says Nesmik trio was a pocket axe, belt knife, and a moose pattern folding knife. A moose pattern. Okay, is that what they call it?
I think so.
Yeah. Case makes beautiful ones. They're expensive though. Buck makes okay ones, but they're not that expensive. Craig says that's why I said your version, focusing on the idea of the 3 tools and not the exact replica. It's amazing that you brought that up tonight, because I've been thinking about that, about doing this video series since probably last November. Use your Gunzo 727 for folder. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If I do like a very small series, then I'll mess up. I'll mix it up every episode. Try something new. See if I hone in on what the Rain Dance trio would be. If it might just be what Sales and I were just talking about, right? It might not be a double. It might be my small forest axe, my mini Nesmik, and
because honestly, I see you using more of that than anything else.
Yeah.
So I don't see why you'd even Not that you'd even bother, but you know.
Because I like to play with stuff. I like to see
No, for
how
sure.
I get my mind changed.
No, but after you kind of said that, I want to try with what he had,
yeah.
just to see what the whole idea of having, why it was a Nesmic, I can't even speak no more. Nesmic trio.
How much Mick and a Nesmic mess?
Nesmic.
Nesmuk? Nesmuk. How much Nesmuk?
That way become a little bit of French.
A small bit of French. Just a small bit.
Meanwhile, I'm very disappointed in Dauber because I yawned, like, clearly.
And he didn't count it.
He didn't count it. I'm very disappointed. Very.
Caught Dauber with his pants down.
Yeah.
Well, let's be nice to him because he just says he'll will me the plum. I don't know if I'll ever be able to cash that one in.
I find that life funny too. I have so many knives, I'm not sure which one I would take out in the country. First world problems. Seriously.
I'd like to see your brother's collection at one point. Victorinox Ranger Grip 79, Walter's Black Diamond, Montreal Pattern Hatchet. Okay, and a Grumman number 4. That's a very legit trio. Zach, are you asking me which knife pattern I would prefer, Nesmic or Kephart? Oh my land, I don't know which to choose. I want both of those so hard that I don't know which to choose. For the Nesmic trio, let's call it the Nesmic just for like the motif.
Sake of arguing.
But man, I want both of those. I gotta play with both of those, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, for the context, let's say the Nesmic.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want a Kephart too. Outdoor says his Murphy CBK would be a possibility for the belt knife as well. Very true. Time-honored design. Not as time-honored as a Nesmic, but the CBK has been around since the 50s, and it's still, it's been going strong. Canadian Armed Forces equipped their guys with the jump knife for a long time. Outdoor prefers both the Kephart and the Nesmic, but he likes the look of the Nesmic better. Craig knows guys that have multiple versions of the trio. I would love to work out the Google Groups, a Hangouts thing, so that I can get a Google Hangout working on this channel, and I would love to have Craig on.
Seriously.
Man, I would just, Outdoor Dauber, do you have a spare axe head to spare too? We still need to send one. Yeah, we do need to send some art to Tunisia. This guy's going to paint it for us.
I'll make it pretty.
He can make it pretty. Nesmic spent a lot of his time at 50 miles north of Outdoor Dauber. It's good to know.
Yeah, seriously.
Outdoor, you can't give up counting. That's one of the. It's a constant.
Yeah. Otherwise, he's gonna have to revoke your privileges.
I'll have to take that little blue wrench away from you if you stop counting. You know what I'm saying?
Because even I don't have that wrench, and I'm sitting next to him. Come on. That's a lot of bull. Message retracted.
Zach, your trio would include a CT Woodcraft because you need a hardened pole. Zach, I would love to know what you use an axe for, because if you need a hardened pole, that's for pounding wedges, maybe, I guess. Craig, you're not just a guy with an axe problem. I mean, every time someone brings up, because we're both on the Axe Junkies Facebook group, for those of you who aren't in the know. But Craig, you have a knowledge. I don't have a knowledge. I have some knowledge, but I don't have a knowledge. If you ask me to design my own axe, I have experience with an axe, but I don't have enough experience to say this, and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I still this one that I find that I'm having such a hard time pointing to because it's behind me. That one, my small forest axe. That to me is my favorite axe. That to me is the ideal axe, but it's not because I've tried every single axe design and I know exactly what I'm looking for. It's because that's the axe that I have the most experience with. Is it perfect? No. I would like to have a hardened pole.
It doesn't, huh?
No. malls have hardened poles.
Mm-hmm.
Some,
Well, of
you know,
course, like some people use them as sledgehammers. You know.
Yeah. You know, so I would like a hardened pole.
I think I would want a hardened pole just because there's so many situations where you're like, damn, I just want to smack the back of this axe just to get through this log or whatever, you know?
Well, if I could get around
And
behind the counter, the workbench here, I would take out one of those wedges. But the fact is, my wedges are metal, right?
where are
See
they?
those orange guys?
Okay, yes.
Oh, come on, sinuses. Hey, we just need one.
They're gorgeous.
This is why I want my small forest axe to have a hardened pole.
Ow,
Now,
that was my knee.
yes, it was. And you shook the
Yeah,
camera.
of course, yes.
Is your knee okay?
Yes, my knee's okay.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Another thing, though, is the small forest axe doesn't have a whole lot of weight behind it. So the hardened pole would have to be a little longer. So at that point, we're sort of getting close to like a mini sledge, like or a mini maul. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be hitting metal on metal without a hardened pole.
No,
That's for damn
no,
sure.
of course not. You're
You
gonna
know?
screw up the back of your axe. It's gonna mushroom like nobody's business.
Well, you may, when you're pounding, end up with shards of metal flying.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, there's no way. It's unsafe.
But it'd be bloody useful sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, just because sometimes you don't have the tool. You're like, well, geez, I didn't think about bringing a freaking hammer out in the bush. You know,
Like a sledge or something.
yeah. Well, not even a sledge, just like a hammer.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're like, geez, I wish I could just pound this thing into, you know, like let's say, I don't know, your spikes, you know, you want to just hit your spikes into the ground because for some reason, let's say you're going winter camping, it's frozen, and the only way to get your spikes into the ground is by pounding them in with something. Well, if you got your axe with you, which has a hardened pole, there you go.
Well, it's as Craig says right here. A hardened pole is good for extending the use past most axes, like the rigger's axe he brings up. But
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I almost think, but I don't quite, that axes should always have a hardened pole. The reason I don't absolutely think that is because I think that as soon as you're hardening a pole, you're adding production time. You're upping the price of an axe a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
And every time you up the price, it's very. It's because I'm getting bored.
And you're not going to have a hardened pole on this.
No,
you know.
I think that for a hardened pole, it needs to be a little bigger.
You know, it's just like a little hatchet. It's almost like a carving axe. It's like you're not gonna, be pounding this thing.
But things around this size, sometimes like a carpenter's axe. Carpenter's axes, by the way, should all have hardened poles. I don't know if they do. I'm just pulling that out. I
think so.
But like when we were doing some repairs, by which I mean putting weatherproof cladding around the hunt camp a few years ago, I was using an old carpenter's axe or something with that sort of. Maybe it was a rigger's axe, like for hammering nails, because we didn't have a hammer.
I take it back because this is almost a hammer size.
Hammer time.
Hammer time. I'm thinking more of this one over here.
Yeah, but that was a carving axe.
Yeah, well, that's my point. You're not.
You're saying you don't have to
pull
on
an axe like that. No, of course not.
Yeah. I mean, look, for a lot of camp axes, there's a case to be made that they never need a hardened pole. I get that. To me, a hardened pole in most cases is a just in case thing.
Yeah.
You know, I need to hammer in a nail or something.
Especially if you're just bringing one axe into the bush.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Let's get rid of that.
I'll go put this away like that.
But
we don't create a mess.
I would like to bring wedges to hunt camp. Okay, not necessarily camping, right? For a bushcraft weekend. You're right. But if I'm at hunt camp and we're splitting large rounds, I would like to bring my wedges. Now I own a maul. It was a terrible maul from Canadian Tire. I've been working the bit. I've been working it so hard, but I would like a nice maul.
Does it have a fiberglass handle?
It has a fiberglass handle.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. So
it was very affordable. I was buying it because I was like, there was a job I had to do that day that needed a maul. So I bought whatever I could find. But Your brother says the only axe he's used since Christmas was a Canadian Tire camp axe to break ice.
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
Can you use a hardened pole as a steel striker? Zach asks. I don't know actually.
Yeah, the ice he's referring to is about. I'm guessing by the picture about this thick. He wasn't able to get into his freaking driveway. You know.
Yeah.
It's been a nightmare here in Montreal because of all the freezing rain we've had there. So
yeah. If the pole is not long enough, exactly, the quenching process can affect the eye wall and make it brittle and can fail. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why for a hardened pole, you need it to be a little longer, which, I mean, there's a balance issue there. I mean, you want a pole behind so that the axe doesn't like do this while you're swinging it. Like a lot of like, what is it? A Basque axe has no pole to it. I'm not into pole-less axes. But I also like, you're adding weight, right? So there are all kinds of cases where you don't want a hardened pole, but I would like to see hardened poles on more axes than we see them.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I've noticed too is like a lot of them, like the pole extends much further out from the eye.
Yeah, but that's because in order to harden it, you need some space.
Exactly. So, like, if it's sort of almost right up to it, like you've seen some axes where it just kind of like follows the
like the Basque
eye,
or a lot of European style axes.
So, like, and personally, I don't know. It's funny because I look at those and I'm like, they don't look pretty.
Yeah, what you need is, can you say that again? What you need is the weight behind it, the weight of some kind of pole, so that when you're chopping, it doesn't sort of, you know, doesn't get blown around by the wind. It's all about sort of the balancing while you're.
The axe is like 5 pounds, but you know, it still goes out in the wind.
Zach is saying flint. Oh, it's throwing sparks off of flint. Okay. Wait. Craig drew a 12-inch spike into. Yeah. Because the camp cover has a hardened pole, doesn't it? Does it? I thought it did, but I'm not. You might want to bring one wedge in Bushcraft 101 when bushcrafting. Yeah. You would say it would throw sparks.
But except for splitting like huge ass logs, what else?
That's the technical term, by the way.
Yes, it is. What else do you use a wedge for?
No, just for splitting big ass logs.
Okay. So yeah, if I'm
especially
going out in the bush, I'm not gonna go chop down a big.
Well,
old
yeah,
tree,
that's the thing. Like we're talking about. Like I don't bring those wedges when bushcrafting. I bring them when. Yeah, it's job specific. I mean, to a certain extent, I feel that it's possible, not probable, but possible that I'm not right that most axes should have hardened poles. I mean, I have never used my small forest axe as a hammer, you know.
And it doesn't have a hardened pole, so I wouldn't either, you know.
No. But like I've never found myself wanting. But when it gets to like serious splitting work, that's where I start to think, okay, I'm probably gonna have my wedges at least in the bag beside me. And if I don't have like a maul, then I can't use them unless I have certain, like if I need a hardened pole in order to use them. So it's about like, wow, I can't use these versus I didn't need those today. You know?
And usually when you're going bushcrafting, you're going usually for a day or two.
Yeah, you're chopping small things.
Yeah.
You're not going to be taking down. If you find a round like that, and it's not like 3 feet tall or something,
and you also have the weight in your bag
as a chopping block.
Yeah, and you also have the weight in the bag.
Yeah, you don't want to be carrying too much weight.
Yeah, otherwise you'll be at the end of the 2 days like, oh my god, my back's gonna break. You know.
Yeah. Craig answered the question about the induction hardening for me. Make a wood glut instead of steel splitting wedges. You mean like when you chop a piece of wood into a wedge? Yeah, that's true. And that you can use the oh my land, that you can use this guy right here for. It's tough because it's behind me, and because it's mirror image, and It's like that guy, right? Piss on a biscuit. That guy right there.
No, I'm sorry. If it wasn't mirror image, it'd be like
it would be worse actually. Yeah, you're right.
Wait, no, it's this side. Oh, wait, this. Oh, stop.
New T-shirt: hard and pull, big ass logs and nut sacks. Oh, yeah, that never gets old.
Thank you, Anthony, for that.
Mm.
Oh wow, it's already 1:45.
Yeah.
Good thing you brought the bell.
Yeah. But actually, to bring it back, I'm more convinced than ever that when I'm teaching Camille about axing, something that is small forest axe sized is the way to go. Just like watching how old she's become.
Oh,
what? Watching how tall she is now and stuff. Because this is not a safe axe for a child to use. Craig can tell you, like, axe safety is all about making sure that when you're swinging down onto something, if you miss, you don't bury an axe in your knee. Which is why with a shorter axe, it's better to get down on your knees and chop, right? Someone of Cody's height needs like that 18-inch handle, which is why I would love to this year buy her like a boy's axe or something. Boy's axe is not 18 inches though. What is that? Is a boy's axe like between 18 and 22 or something? I don't quite remember because of 10%.
Yeah.
500 mil.
Well, you had mentioned that though the handle I got was because the one I got with the 4-pounder, it's like
it was a round boy's
28-inch.
28, okay.
Yeah. And you're saying that's limit for boys' axe.
Yeah, but I'm thinking something between 18 and 22 is what I'm gonna want to use for Camille when she's learning, and it's gonna have to be something affordable because this guy here, that's not what we're gonna use.
No.
So I want
there you just confirmed that 24 to 28 inches. That's the boy's axe.
Okay.
Which it kind of, I wish my handle was just a little bit longer. Like I think 30 inches would have been perfect for me. Mm-hmm. Just because I've noticed now that I've been using it a lot more.
Yeah.
That I'm sometimes afraid that I might miss and hit myself. Sometimes I'm swinging that bad boy pretty damn hard.
But you're mostly chopping. You're mostly splitting. You're mostly splitting, actually.
Splitting, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like mauls tend to come with a really long handle. Yeah. Specifically for that, so that if you miss, you don't, and then you need stitches and stuff.
Well, I've seen the video. What's the Russian hack guy? Is that his name? Anyway.
Russian hack guy?
Hack. He's like a Russian.
Oh, hack. Yeah.
And his way of splitting is quite clever, and I've actually used it. You put the log on the side, and then once you have your log like this, you put your other log down like that, and you're splitting down on the end of the. It does a really good job. However, I find it's not as gratifying or as fun as when it's just up like that and just splits like yeah. It's not the same, because it's a little anticlimactic because it just doesn't. It just like opens up like that. But then again, it's much safer.
Yeah.
Because if you do miss, you just hit the side of the log or you go in the dirt. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And
then that sort of comes back to what I'm saying. Like when with Camille, she's like,
yeah.
She's about yes. What? She's about this tall. Like if I stand up, she comes up to about here on me, right? Just she's about this tall. And so I'm thinking that something that's the same length as that guy right there, my small forest axe, is ideal. And it's funny because you talk to people, even on like the Axe Junkie site, like someone brought this up and people were like, yeah, I started them off with this tiny. I'm like, no, I would never start Camille off with this. I would, this is what Camille gets when she's a pro at the axe. This is still, by the way, my favorite axe. This little Wetterlings. This was my first good axe.
Oh, you with your Wetterlings. Oh, my God.
And see how dark that wood is? When I got this axe, it was blonde. As you guys know, hickory can be. But that's years of oiling and use.
But you and the weatherlings get a room.
Excuse my idiot. He's a friend.
Okay, sorry.
But like this is not what she starts with.
No.
This she gets later when I'm dead, and they pry it from my cold dead hands.
That's gonna be a nice image.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, this is not the axe I'm going to teach a child with. No way.
And honestly,
dangerous.
Even myself, I hadn't really thought about it. Like I was thinking the same thing. Oh, you can give a small axe to a small kid. And when you mentioned that the first time, like that makes total sense. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Especially since I almost took out my leg myself once. I'm like, okay, yeah, you gotta be a little safer,
Yeah. Now, Craig says implement techniques to compensate for handle length and safety concerns.
Oh, for sure.
But to me, it's just simpler to start with something that's long enough that if she misses, she bears it in the ground instead of her knees.
Yeah.
And then we move, because I mean,
and that's the thing. I mean, kids don't necessarily listen, right? So, Craig, even if you give your kid the technique, like I know my kid, like I try to give her all kinds of hints and tricks, and she don't listen.
Yeah, that's one thing. The instant she doesn't listen, the tool gets taken away.
Oh, for sure. But it just takes one time, right?
Yeah.
So am I gonna chance because she's stubborn and and she's gonna do it right like 4 times, and then the 5th time she's gonna do it the way she wants to do it?
So let's take Craig up on what he says there. Would not have an issue letting her use that small hatchet by setting up the task in a safe way by having her kneel and a log between her and the target. Okay. Legit, absolutely. Like no matter what, I will have to set up the situation for her when we're teaching her. But also, this was expensive. She's not learning on my expensive axes. I'm going to buy her. I would like to buy her a cheap counsel to a boy's axe or something to start with. Now, when I say cheap, guys, I don't mean quality. I mean affordable, because they have an affordable line as well, which I still think is a great choice. So yeah, you're right. But what I'm thinking of it in terms of, we're camping and I want to teach her some axe skills, rather than today you learn to axe, we're camping and we don't necessarily have a whole lot of control over how many logs I have to lay down and blah, 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 and it's like, I'm splitting wood. Daddy, can I try? Okay, you can try. You listen to me, you do what I tell you, and an axe of a certain length, like I can just sort of start teaching her basics, and work her up to something like this. Because what you're saying, I would.
Yeah, in my case,
like I don't know how to.
I still would be a lot more vigilant, just because I know how freaking stubborn she could be.
Your daughter?
Yeah, my daughter. Of course, she's still 5, right? I'm not gonna give my 5-year-old an axe at the moment, But then again, it's mainly because of her personality,
Camille is also very stubborn, and she's like, "Yes, I know, Daddy." I'm like, "No, you really don't.
You don't.
No, you don't. Okay, you're gonna listen to me right now." But yeah, I don't know.
I would have a hard time right now. Like if I take my daughter now and say, okay, here's an axe. This is how you do it.
Well,
go,
what Craig says is what I'm already doing. And get her a hammer and some nails.
Yeah.
And Camille's been. That's what we started with.
Just smart. That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah. Zach is being funny. Every time she gets an axe, she gains confidence. Absolutely. It's funny because I remember watching a long time ago. In fact, probably the first Sergeant Fruitcake video I ever saw was him just banging out some kindling. And I think he was trying a couple of different axes. This was a long freaking time ago. And in that video, he said, like I've been doing this since I was 8, and that's why I don't have any safety gear,
Yeah,
and like he was using just a little hatchet and stuff, but like he'd been doing it since he was 8. And the fact is, Sergeant Fruitcake, I don't know how many of you watch Sergeant. A lot of you probably do. If you don't, get on that. He's a nice guy. Little Bible buffing for me, but he's a nice guy. He's got some good knowledge. And he's been using that since he was 8. You know what I'm saying? But like, what I liked about it is like, I'm using the word like way too often here.
Like, okay.
People who've been like using an axe like forever are just so good, There's an ease that comes with using a tool that you have used your whole grown-up life.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comfort in the tool, a knowledge of the way it's going to react, a knowledge of the muscles you have to use to get it to work in an optimal way. And my goal is to teach her these things for a couple of reasons. A, it's fun, okay? But also there's the fact that she's going to grow up in a world that's a little more brutal than today. She doesn't stand a chance in hell of having the same standard of living that her mother and I did.
Mm-hmm.
Not did. Come on, we're still around.
Yeah.
And
you're projecting.
Projecting, absolutely. Yeah. And any skill I can impart to her will likely help her in the future.
Yeah, it's I think that's one of the reasons why I got my kid in karate in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like thinking she's small, she's tiny. I think she might get bullied a lot, and so I'm just thinking, have her learn the tools to defend herself,
And as Craig says, start with baby steps.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Sharp's here, just in time for us to almost stop.
Yeah. And I don't know what the hell Simone's talking about, like shoveling all the way to my place. Why
showed up?
Showed up.
At your place.
Showed up. Okay. I'm not. It's too far again. I should be reading it on my phone, like
on your phone.
Yeah. But hey,
on your phone now.
I love my brother. It's like, I won't lie. I'm 43. I still use
an axe recklessly. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we all have our moments.
Do we though? Do we all have our moments?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think when we went up and we got rid of that tree from the trail.
Oh yeah, we did a video. Yeah, our steak video.
Yeah, our steak video. Yeah. And, chopping that tree at the angle that I was at. I mean, the branch is like pretty much shoulder height.
Yeah.
So it's not like if I miss that tree, it's gonna keep going. Of course, the fact that
placement is key in that case.
Absolutely. But the thing also, the fact that it was fairly high up, I knew I had a certain distance.
Yeah.
So it's like, for sure, placement of the feet was very important. I always tried to spread out my legs so then, like, if I did miss, it would go in between.
Yeah.
And the other thing also is that I knew I had a certain, like, distance I could use to stop,
Mm-hmm.
And it did happen a few times that I just nicked it and I kept going.
Yeah.
But I stopped it in time, But you have to be conscious of that. You have to be conscious, like, if I miss, I have to stop as soon as possible.
Especially when you're showing your daughter.
For sure,
Especially, like, it's funny because rewatching the Paul Kirtley blog post that I linked to up on the
the feed there, the chat,
the live chat.
Yeah.
It has made me rethink the way I'm planning to teach Camille her bush gear in certain ways because
yes.
Yeah. Because certain things I've got pretty well dialed in, but there are certain things that I think need
finish your thought.
Improvements on my part, And so I've been reading everything I can about, kids in the woods, teaching kids how to do these bush skills and stuff. Like just making sure that her hair is always tied back tightly. There's no flyaways. There's nothing, especially when she's lighting a fire and there's hair everywhere. Come on, Jess,
Yeah.
because she's not old enough to think about that. Just a lot of stuff like that. I really want to get dialed in this year, because this is going to be our year to do some cool stuff.
And it's interesting you bring up the hair, not just because you're, but that's not something we generally have issues with, because we do have short hair, right? Sometimes I even forget about it,
Yeah.
Like even with my own daughter, like my wife is like, tie her hair.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't think of it because I don't have that issue,
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to think even more, and you have to go beyond to be safe.
Your brother is like a walking disaster waiting to happen. Battening is also is also a good option. Craig, we do battening all the time. Like I hold the axe and she whaps on it. That's pretty much when she and I are doing axe work together. That's 98% of the time what we're doing. I figured that would be a good way to get her used to the action, while I'm actually controlling the axe.
Alain kind of he learns this way though. He learns. He's been lucky. He hasn't lost anything yet, but it's like,
I learned how to use a knife. Yeah. Zach, I saw those links. I'm gonna look at them as soon as we're done. It's probably all gonna be expensive stuff though, right? That I can't afford.
Yeah.
$20 for an hour at Raj Montreal. Oh yeah, for it's 11 o'clock.
That's why I brought the bell out. But
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. Next week, I'm not sure what this right? I'm gonna start that again. And take 2. Thanks for hanging out with us this week. Next week, I'm not sure what the subject is going to be yet.
Probably more rambling.
If anyone has a suggestion, drop me a line on any of the socials or email or my Instagram, my Facebook page. I don't know if you can contact me through YouTube anymore.
Well, this time it was because of Austin.
Yes. In fact, tonight's suggestion was specifically because of Austin. So, thanks for hanging out, and ring the bell. See you later, guys. Yeah, I love it.
Ciao.